Hello everyone! So you join me in an unusual location again. Well, not unusual, it's just my living room. But it's much easier to film in here because I've got a big window there and it just works because again, I smashed my studio bowl. You know, how I keep doing it, I don't know. Like, can I ever be trusted with studio lighting? I don't think so. I've got one remaining softbox, but it's up in the loft and I can't bother to get it down. So I feel like natural lighting is just as good. But sorry if it suddenly goes dark or whatever, like I do live in the UK. So today, as you can see by the title, I'm talking about quite a serious topic. There's a lot of theories surrounding it, obviously, and you know, it's alright to touch on them, providing you take on board what I say and you don't like. But I don't know, like, I don't know how to address it. Like, do you believe what I say? Like, I'm just reading it offline. I'm not making these conspiracy theories, because obviously I don't want to get in trouble with the government for, like, stirring shit up. But yeah, these are 4 theories about how Princess Diana actually died. Bit of background knowledge, if you don't know who Princess Diana is, she married the Prince of Wales, Prince Charles, and they were like happily married, but they weren't happily married. Like, in the public eye they were happily married, but like he was having an affair with a lady called Camilla, who actually lived in my town next door to where I used to live. Fun fact, I used to live near royalty. But basically the crash occurred just after midnight on August 31st, 1997. A limousine, or Mercedes S-Class I think it was, carried Diana and her new love interest, Dodi. Dodi was the son of an Egyptian billionaire, so obviously he's like in the public eye. Diana's in the public eye because she's she's royalty. Well, she's not royalty anymore at this point, but she's like still in the public eye. You can't like escape that. The Mercedes S-Class was hurtling along at speed and crashed with a pillar in the Alma Tunnel in central Paris. Dodi died at the scene and Diana was taken by an ambulance to the hospital, where she died a few hours later in cardiac arrest. Now at the time, obviously Prince Charles wasn't like that related and they had quite a hostile relationship. He was up in Scotland with the Queen and his children William and Harry. I've actually read up on this, like I know what happened kind of. And at the time the royal correspondence only told Charles that Diana had broken her arm. I think it was arm or it might have been leg, I'm not sure. So basically he doesn't have like a clue that she's like dying in hospital. He was trying to think of the quickest way there, and the quickest way there was supposedly the Queen's plane, but the Queen didn't want him to go. I don't know, she wasn't like that big a fan of Diana because she was different. It's like said in a famous interview.
I'd like to be a queen of people's hearts, in people's hearts, but I don't see myself being queen of this country. I don't think many people would want me to be queen. Actually, when I say many people, I mean the establishment that I'm married into, because they've decided that I'm a non-starter.
Only Dodi's bodyguard survived the accident. Like the driver, like everyone died. Like it was a huge thing, like 2 billion people. 2 billion, that's like a quarter of the whole world tuned in to watch Diana's like funeral and everything. So the first conspiracy theory is that the paparazzi did it. This one is quite widely believed because obviously she had paparazzi, but basically the conspiracy theory goes like this. From the moment it was revealed in 1980 that Prince Charles had taken an interest in the youthful and attractive Diana, she had become hounded by the press. She was to become the most famous woman in the world, her every deed, no matter how private or trivial, meticulously photographed, documented and splashed across the front pages of the tabloids everywhere. She was in theory the first of major celebrity, like there were obviously celebrities, but she was the first one that was in the huge public eye. Right up until the moment of her death, the press were in hot pursuit. Among the first details to surface about the accident that killed her was the fact that the driver of the limousine had been speeding to evade paparazzi photographers. Unsurprisingly, the blame was immediately laid on them. Critics called them legalised stalkers, cowardly murderers and assassins, and certainly they bore some of the responsibility for participating in a high-speed chase under very dangerous conditions. However, autopsy results soon revealed that Henry Poole, the driver, had a blood alcohol level at least 3 times in the legal limit. At the end of a 2-year police investigation, the paparazzi were largely dismissed of their role and the blame shifted to Poole. In other words, the paparazzi like chased them, but there's also rumours somewhere that like flashes like blinded the driver. Like I don't know if that is like an inside job or whether it was the paparazzi, like lots of witnesses did see a bright flash. The second conspiracy theory is that the royal family did it. Not everyone was satisfied with the official version of events. Within hours of the announcement of her death, rumours of plot to assassinate Princess Diana began to swirl. The main culprits, the royal family, assisted by the British intelligence service. Now, why the Queen would want Diana dead was because of the Whisper campaign. She was poised to embarrass the crown by marrying Dodi, a Muslim who would become the stepfather to Prince William and Prince Harry, the heirs to the British throne. It was even speculated that Diana was pregnant with Dodi's child. These paranoid accusations gained more traction than they deserved deserve thanks to their tabloid appeal, not to mention the tireless championing of Mohammed Al-Fayed, Dodi's father, who refuses to this day to believe the fatal car crash was a mere accident. It was suggested that an agent of MI6, the British intelligence service, was present at the scene, posing as a member of the press. It was suggested that a mysterious vehicle, a white Fiat Uno, was used by the conspirators to block the limousine's path, forcing it to collide with a pillar. It was suggested that recordings from the closed-circuit cameras in the Alma tunnel, which ought to have been documented the precise sequence of events, were either tampered with or summarily disposed of, and so on. Whilst editing this, I realised that I didn't say that the reason there were no CCTV cameras is because the only kind of proof of anything is eyewitness accounts. So if the CCTV cameras weren't working, then there'd be no proof. So that's why MI6 supposedly did it. None of these assertions have held up under scrutiny. Diana was not in fact pregnant, according to the tests run on her samples of her blood collected at the scene. Nor were Diana and Dodi planning to get married, according to sources close to the principals. There was no unaccounted for vehicles, at least of a phantom Fiat, involved in the crash. That's fucking weird. Like, where this Fiat came from, I don't know. Like, no matter, even if you're the royal family, you can't just, like, make a Fiat Uno invisible. It's a small car, but it's not invisible. Of the 10 traffic cameras located in and around the tunnel, none were properly positioned to record the accident itself, and no convincing evidence of government involvement has ever been found. Well, they are the British Secret Intelligence Service, like, obviously they're gonna keep it secret. That's the one that I don't know why, but I have a sixth sense, not sixth sense, like a sick sense, like it makes me feel sick, that it is kind of government related, like, no, like, ooh, it is dodgy, like, you can never know, like, the Queen's not gonna be like, yeah, I murdered this bitch, but like, the third conspiracy theory is that Dodi's enemies did it. Another bogeyman conjured by those who refuse to accept the official explanation is a group of shadowy figures lumped under the heading of enemies of Al-Fayed. I think it's Fayed, I don't know how you pronounce it. In this version of events, the real target of the assassination plot was Dodi Al-Fayed. The motive was revenge against his father. Diana's death was incidental or diversion at most. It stands to reason that a man as wealthy and powerful as Mohammed acquired some equally powerful enemies over the years. But who are they? What are their names? Where is the evidence of a cabal? Nothing tangible has ever been put forward. One would think that if there were even a shred of truth to this scenario, Al-Fayed himself would have long since demanded an appropriate investigation and punishment of the actual wrongdoers. Yeah, I think you can have enemies, but you're not, if you have something against someone for being wealthy, you wouldn't then kill their son, you'd kill them, like, I don't know. That one isn't too believable for me. And the fourth one is that Diana actually did it herself. This is the weird one. With the help of Dodi and his family's massive wealth, Diana carefully planned the accident as a cover-up so the couple could slip away. Diana carefully planned the accident as a cover so the couple could slip away, change their identities, and begin a new life far away from public scrutiny. This would mean, of course, that the bodies buried in Princess Diana's and Dodi graves actually belonged to someone else. What makes this plausible, supposedly, is the fact that there was no post-mortem examination of Diana's body, which is patently false. A full post-mortem exam was conducted on August 31st by a Home Office pathologist as soon as Diana's remains were returned to England. If the point of this plot was for Diana to escape into hiding alive and unarmed, something went horribly wrong and between the planning and the execution. So yeah, those are the 4 conspiracy theories. Some of them have already been debunked. I personally think out of them all, like, obviously she could have just died. Like, obviously you can just die, like, what's to say that she didn't just die? But there are also other plausible ones, like I think the government one could exist. There's also a thing that the government flashed like a huge white light and like blinded the driver, like that's another popular one, but that wasn't mentioned, so like, take that one with a pinch of salt, but I know that one personally. But I personally believe the government could have an involvement in it. I'm not, like, discounting that. I feel like Diana wouldn't plan her own death purely because there's no way you can do that. Like, surely if autopsies and stuff were carried out, she'd have to be the one. But I do think the paparazzi are quite responsible, but also the fact that it was a drunk limo driver. Like, Dodi's father was the one that sent the taxi driver, so I don't know, it's just a bit dodgy. Like his father's a billionaire and he can afford a drunk taxi man, like, I don't know. Prince Charles is also blamed a bit because if he didn't split up from her, she would have more of a police escort presence and then this wouldn't have happened. But like, can you really blame anyone? But yeah, that was it for this video. I'm sorry it was a bit long, but obviously I need to explain it like it is serious. Also, please take it with a pinch of salt. Don't I didn't make up any of these. As you saw, I was reading them from my phone. Like, they're just ones that I found that I thought were quite interesting to share in a video. But if you enjoyed, make sure to give it a big thumbs up, comment down below, and hit the subscribe button because, you know, it always helps. And I will see you guys next time with another video. Bye!